People don't pay for a service. They pay for a problem solved, for the change and transformation that comes on the other side of what you offer. That's the whole thing. That's the message. If you remember nothing else from anything I ever say on this podcast, let it be that. Because if your marketing feels exhausting, if every post and every email and every sales call feels like you're explaining yourself from scratch, there's a reason. You haven't named the thing you actually sell. You're listening to Ready, Fire, Aim, a podcast about wrangling the chaos of entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Lacey Arant, and this is episode 1. If you're listening to this, there's a pretty good chance you have a business. Maybe you started it, maybe you bought it, maybe it's a side thing that turned into the main thing, the way these things tend to do. And there's a pretty good chance that at some point in the last year, you've thought to yourself, something about this just isn't landing. The work is good, the clients you have love you, but the people you wish you were attracting are just not showing up. The website you spent thousands of dollars on just doesn't feel like you. The Instagram account you're posting on 3 times a week feels like a chore. And the launch you did 6 months ago did not do at all what you thought it would do. Can I just tell you I've been there? But I understand that you might not be able to figure out why. I'm going to tell you why. It's because you are selling the service and nobody is paying you for the service itself. They are paying for what changes when the service is done. They are paying for their problem to be solved. So I want to tell you a story because abstract concepts in branding and marketing will put you straight to sleep. And I do not want to put you to sleep on episode 1. In later episodes, I'm going to dig deeper into my background and into the backstory of how the show got started to begin with. But today, I want to tell you a story that I've actually been living in over the last couple of weeks. I've been working this month with an incredible medical aesthetics practice. It's a beautiful business. The founder is one of the best in the Southeast. And actually, she is trained as a neonatologist, which she was doing before she got into aesthetics. This means that she spent her whole career caring for the most fragile patients you can imagine, tiny little 1-pound babies, like that kind of care. And so she's bringing that same level of intention and attention to her aesthetics work now. Her patients are wildly loyal. They drive hours to see her. They bring their daughters. They bring their friends. And as we did this audit on their website and their business, the tagline or the thing, the header on the website said, "Be beautiful inside and out." Now, look, there's nothing wrong with that sentence. It is perfectly fine. But here's the problem. It's also perfectly fine for a yoga studio or a juice bar or a Pilates place or a soap company or a small batch candle company or any other business that has anything to do at all with wellness, which is the problem. It wasn't saying anything about her or her team or her staff or what sets them apart and makes them unique. It was just decorating the page. So we sat down, me and her business partner, and I asked them a lot of questions, but one of them was this. When someone walks out of your office, what do they say to themselves in the car? What's going through their mind? And so they thought about it for a minute. And we had great conversation. And her business partner said, I don't think she feels like she was given a treatment of some sort. I think she feels cared for. And I was like, yes, that right there. That's the transformation. That's what people are paying for. They're not paying for the needle to go into their face. They're paying for what it makes them look like in their bathroom mirror as soon as their treatment starts to kick in a few days later. If you know, you know. They're paying to walk into a school fundraiser or function and have another mom go, "Oh my gosh, you look like so rested." Not, "Oh, you look like you just had work done." That distinction is everything. And so here's what we did. We rewrote the line for them. So the new version of their solution statement is this. We are a concierge, non-surgical aesthetics practice for women who want subtle, expert results delivered by a team that listens before it treats. That's not decoration. That is a load-bearing wall in their messaging. You can put that on a website. You can put it on a graphic. You can send it in a mailer. You can mount it on the wall of the lobby. Every single person on their team can learn it and say it. And every patient who reads that will recognize themselves in it. And the people who aren't their ideal client, they self-select out, which is the whole point. They're just going to keep scrolling, and that's exactly what you want. Now, I am not in the business of aesthetics. I am just a partaker, thank goodness. And you're probably not either. So, can I just show you how this might translate into what you do? If you are a financial planner, your clients are not paying you for an investment portfolio. They are actually paying for peace of mind for their future. They're paying you for the feeling of opening their bank statement without their stomach dropping to the ground. That is a problem solved. If you're a wedding planner, your couples are not paying you for a venue and a vendor list. They are paying you to not have to have a single thought about logistics or plans on the morning of their wedding. They get to stay in the moment. How powerful is that? If you're a bookkeeper, your clients are not paying you for clean books. They are paying you so that they can sleep through April 15th like a baby without waking up at 3 a.m. clutching their chest with a panic. That means something. And if you're a brand strategist like me, and this is what I had to learn the hard way, your clients are not paying you for a logo and a color palette. They are paying you to stop feeling invisible, to stop feeling like a generic version of themselves on the internet, to finally have words for the thing that they have been doing for 10 years that even they couldn't quite explain. That right there is what my clients pay me for. And so here's what happens when you don't know what this is. When you are selling a service instead of the problem you solve, you get into a pricing fight. Because if you are selling a service, the only thing differentiating you is price. And you know, if you know, you know. So you start cutting your rates to compete with someone who isn't even doing what you actually do. But the buyer can't tell that because you have not told them what it is you actually do. So you attract the wrong people. And because the wrong people are price shopping for a service, that I can tell you. And the right people are looking for a transformation, for a solve or solution to their problem. But you haven't named it yet, so they cannot find you. Then you get burnout on your own marketing because every Instagram post and email and sales call is doing this heavy lifting of explaining what it is you actually do every single time. And that is exhausting. And that is why you stop posting. Does this sound familiar? Has anyone else been on this cycle? So, what do we do about it? Well, this is where this show is going to come in. Over the next 4 episodes, which are all coming to you this week. So, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the show so it will notify you when they are all live. We're going to hit you heavy as we launch, and then you'll start hearing from us weekly. But for these next few episodes, I'm going to walk you through what we call the brand identity matrix at Endeavor. These are 5 components that every single brand needs to be able to speak from that place of clarity that we so badly want our clients to understand. Most of the brands that I work with have 1 or 2 of these things done really well, and then I usually find that the rest of them are undefined or they haven't even thought about them. And so today we talked about the problem that you solve, and what people are actually paying you for. Episode 2 will be about positioning, specifically using exclusion. Now, I might ruffle some feathers here because most marketers will tell you that you've got to define your ideal client. And while I don't disagree with that whatsoever, I'm also going to tell you that you have to define who you are not for. And there's a reason for that. So that will be worth your listen. In episode 3, we'll talk about a framework. I'm going to walk you through what our proprietary solution statement is and what it isn't, and why having one nailed down matters so much. Just like we talked about earlier with my client, going from be beautiful inside and out to that stunning statement of who they are, who they serve, and what they do. And by the end of that episode, you will know how to draft one of your own, or you will know exactly what is missing from the one you have right now. Episode 4 is honestly the deepest one, and maybe the one I'm the most excited about. But it is about why this work as a whole even matters and why I'm so passionate about doing brand strategy work for the business and not for the founder. Because here is the thing. If the only person who can run your business is you, you do not have a business. You have a job that pays you in stress. A clear brand strategy, I can promise you, is your way out of that. And I do not want you stuck in a job that is paying you in stress. Who wants that? None of us. So we're going to dig in really deep on that one. And then episode 5 is where I'm going to get a little bit tactical. I'm going to walk you through 3 diagnostic questions that you can ask of your own brand and your website today that will tell you whether your messaging is doing its job or not. Is it landing? Is it speaking to the person you need to hear it? And if it's not, I'm going to tell you what to do next. Okay, so I want to be honest with you about who I made this show for. This show is not for you if you're someone who needs every detail of a plan in order to be able to take action. Like, take this podcast as a perfect example. If you only saw the pile of cords and the tangled mess and the hour and a half of a setup it took to even start recording today, you just have no idea. We had these massive plans of launching in our new studio setup with our soundproof background wall and video and all the things. And it just didn't happen that way, as things do or don't. Our audio is ready ish, and the video and all the other fancy stuff is not. But as we say in our title, we are not afraid to prepare as much as possible, fire away and take action, and then aim and adjust on the back end. And so, if you're afraid of building the airplane in the air, this just won't be the show for you. But who is it for? Well, to start, you're going to hear me say all of the time that building a business is not for the weak. You truly have to have the risk tolerance and the stomach for work like this. I truly believe that it is embedded so deeply in some of our DNA that we truly don't know that there are other options for us. And so we're going to get deeper into my personal story on that later. But this is likely the show for you if you just found yourself going, "Oh yeah, that's me." It's for you if you're a founder who's been doing this work for a few years. You've got clients, you've got revenue, you're building something, but you're starting to feel that squeeze of growth. You know what I'm talking about? The squeeze of needing to charge more, hire more, be more visible. You want to build something that operates even when you want or need to take a break. Like, hello, can you even imagine going on a vacation right now and leaving your laptop at home? That's the kind of business we're trying to build over here. And I want you to come along on that journey with us. And this is for you if you're a founder with a real problem that you solve and a powerful story to tell, but the words just aren't there yet. The strategy might not be there yet. You feel like you spend a lot of time thinking, gosh, if people just understood what it is that I actually do, my business would thrive. And this show is also for you if you haven't even started yet. You have an idea, you even have that spirit of entrepreneurship, but maybe fear is the thing that's had you circling the runway for a year, maybe two, waiting for you to feel ready, waiting for permission. I am happy to be the one to give you permission because the truth is, every founder that I'm going to bring on this show, every story I'll tell, every framework I'll walk you through, all started in the exact same place. Somebody decided to take action, to get moving, to get started before they felt ready. And then they figured out the rest as they went. And that's what we're going to be doing here. We are permission givers to the trailblazers, risk takers, to the storytellers and the problem solvers to be in bold pursuit of your purpose and of building the business of your dreams. If any of this is like making you feel seen, or if you're just finally ready to see the fruit of every bit of your hard work, this is going to be the show for you. If it's not you yet, listen anyway. You'll get there. And I would rather you have these ideas and resources in your toolbox for when you're ready. So before I let you go, remember this: people don't pay for a service, they pay for a problems solved, for the change and transformation that comes on the other side of what it is that you offer. So I want you to grab a notepad or open the notes on your phone, and I want you to just think about this with me. Like, do you know what that is? I want you to jot down the first thing that comes to mind when you hear me say that. We are big fans of note taking around here. It's like real science in your brain. So grab a pen, grab a legal pad. Legal pads, I live my life by legal pads. But truly, I want you to take that note down. If you can name that, like really name it in a way that an eighth grader could understand it, then your marketing stops feeling so exhausting. Because every post and email and sales call is no longer doing all of this work of explaining you from scratch. The transformation that comes on the other side is doing that for you. Your job just becomes pointing to that over and over and over again. That's it. That's the whole thing. Okay, so this is episode 1. We did it. Episodes 2 through 5 are on their way to you this week. So go ahead and subscribe here. Make sure you'll be notified as soon as they are live. And we cannot wait to hear your thoughts on all of it. And we're so excited to celebrate the launch of Ready, Fire, Aim this week. And speaking of that, please head over to at Endeavor Branding on Instagram. And I'd love for you to just send me a DM and let me know that you listened and send me any takeaways that you had or light bulb moments that stood out to you. And we're also sending out some really fun swag this week that we had made just for the podcast launch. And so take a screenshot of this episode, share it to your stories, tag us, and we would love to drop you something special in the mail when you do that. The last thing that you can do to really help us celebrate in the biggest way might seem a little strange to you, but it is to send this episode to your businessy friend. You know the one I'm talking about. They are the ones always starting something new. They're solving a new problem or obsessing over their latest fixation. Maybe it is ADHD, speaking from experience, or maybe they're just crazy. Also, speaking from experience, and we're all crazy, right? Or maybe it's a little bit of both, okay? But seriously, building a business can leave you feeling really lonely sometimes. And I know this so deeply. And it's just so easy to feel like you're operating in a silo. And so, if a name just popped in your head, would you send this episode to them and let them know that there's more on the way? Maybe you already know that they're feeling stuck and struggling, but even if they haven't told you, I can almost guarantee that they will find themselves somewhere in these first few episodes. We would love for the show to find their earbuds. I'll be back very soon with episode 2, why saying no is the most important brand decision you will ever make. But if you feel like you're already ready to dig in before episode 2 drops, I want you to do this. I want you to go to endeavorbranding.com/quiz and take our 4-minute brand clarity quiz. This is going to give you an instant brand clarity score and 3 customized coaching prompts depending on your results. I wrote these word for word. For every single category of this quiz, depending on which one is your lowest score, you're going to get my personalized custom coaching prompts. They're going to give you 3 immediate actions you can take this week to start solving your biggest problem and closing your biggest gap. And I want that for you. So go straight over there, endeavorbranding.com/quiz, and take that quiz. It's going to give you instant results. And from there, you can also book a call with us. We can dive deeper into your results and into what it looks like to be building the thing that you are really trying to build. I'd love to know what you're doing so far and any guidance we can give you on your journey to doing that. We would love to. Okay, so thank you so much for being here today. So excited to really get this launched and to get started. And if you are waiting for permission, if you are waiting for perfect, if you're waiting to feel totally ready, please let this be your reminder to ready, fire, aim. And I'll see you next time.